Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Get Indie Gaming. With this year's E3 already underway, and while steeped in the AAA side of the market, there's plenty to see from many indie studios, big and small, who also make it their way out west. Rather than cover some of the leaks, rumours, or list of things we'd like to see, we've taken a look through 20 of some of the most promising indie games already announced before the event, and liable to be demoed on the main show floors and offshoots. If you're attending the show, or you see anything here you rather fancy, please let us know down in the comments, and also be sure to click on that thumbs up button too. Okay, and with that, let's get stuck in. Where the Bees Make Honey is a puzzler with a dose of adventure thrown into the mix, starring a young girl called Sunny who's dressed like a bee. The game will span the 4 seasons, with each of them having their own set of puzzles and things to discover. Sunny's costume gives her the ability to transform and rotate these worlds within 90-degree implements, and you'll use this mechanic to help figure out the game's puzzles and aid overall exploration. Where the Bees Make Honey is coming to the PC, Mac and Linux within the first quarter of next year. In a coming-of-age story, Where Cards Fall offers a dreamlike journey through youthful uncertainty, where the player explores their most fragile memories of the past and how they can become the strongest foundations of the future. In the game, a collaboration between the Game Band and Snowman Studios, the team behind Alto's adventure, you'll build houses of cards to form and shape the world, and use them to move through imaginative puzzles that bring vivid memories of adolescence to life. Expected soon on the PC and iOS devices. Coming onto the PC at a time to be advised, The King's Bird is an artistic and colourful momentum-based game that's looking to deliver players a seamless experience of precision platforming and physics-based gliding. My Memory of Us is a non-violent, side-scrolling puzzle game that's a celebration of hope and heroism. It tells the moving story from the point of a boy and a girl separated from their families within a representation of the Second World War that mirrors and is based on the events within occupied Poland. With its beautiful sketch-like art style and a dialogue system based on symbolic pictures, this one's expected onto the PC at a time that's to be advised. Now this will be of interest to many long-term viewers and fans of indie games in general. Chasm will finally launch next month across the PC, PlayStation 4 and the Vita. Teased way back in 2013, Chasm is a Metroid-style action game where each room has been hand-designed, and the game puts these together in a different way for each player, making each experience a one-of-a-kind map. As you explore these areas, you'll obtain powerful equipment and do battle with deadly monsters. In Dark, we have a psychological horror puzzle game featuring Lloyd, a boy trapped within one of his nightmares as he explores the darkest areas of his subconscious. To survive, players will need to bend and break the usual laws of physics to solve gravity-defying puzzles, and also use stealth and planning to sneak past powerful enemies to avoid their detection. Dark is expected onto the PC and perhaps consoles sometime later. Kick-started back in early 2016, Knights and Bikes will offer a hand-painted action-adventure set on an island off the British mainland. You'll play as Nessa and Demelza as you explore the island within a Goonies-inspired story that sees them cycling into danger from things both ancient and modern, all the while using their frisbees, water balloons and having a pet goose for company. At the moment there's a launch date on this, which is TBA, with it expected to cycle onto the PC and the PlayStation 4. Getting plenty of coverage following last year's Gamescom and EGX events, Bad North is a complex RTS that sees you defend various islands against hordes of Vikings. As you play, its cute isometric visuals and muted colour palette are quickly offset with the remains of war, the blood, the bodies and the remnants of buildings and crashed Viking ships. We're touched by the overall eeriness here, especially the images of the enemy emerging from the fog, and look forward to playing this one once it comes to mobile and all the usual consoles later this summer. Here we've a rather fine-looking single-player open-world action-adventure game that's going to appeal to fans of platforming, combat and exploration, as well as visual storytelling. Coming from veteran games designers with resumes that feature Borderlands 2, Bioshock 2, Saints Row and many other AAA beauties, a newer Distant Light will make its way onto the PC, the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. descend into an eerie world of made-up scattered memories and unresolved traumas, and explore a nightmarish landscape where you come face to face with your childhood fears and nightmares. The Inner Friend features a rich visual environment supported by an immersive soundscape and a cinematic soundtrack, enhancing immersion and emotional moments with no text, dialogue, or UI. Already out in early access, Epic Tavern is a fantasy management RPG where you run your land from and by building a legendary tavern to attract heroes from every corner of a dangerous and magical world. You'll send them on quests, form new alliances, and as you play, your choices will directly steer the fate of those you send away to do your bidding. In Desert Child, you play as a young and talented hoverbike racer who needs to figure out how they can scrape enough cash together through racing and the odd jobs here and there to get onto the Red Planet to enter the biggest race in the universe. You'll deliver pizzas, collect gun parts, hunt bounties, and make some fans along the way. In between races, you'll explore colourful cities where you can repair and upgrade your bike, dine on the local cuisine, and fight your way through gangsters, bounty hunters, and all sorts of interesting characters. Coming to the PC and all of the consoles with a launch date that's TBA. Pode is a single-player or co-op puzzler with an adventure exploration style built upon the themes of friendship and cooperation, and comes with a strong emphasis on positive actions. Visually totally gorgeous to look at, it looks like it's going to offer a relaxing atmosphere with its art style inspired by Norwegian culture. The folks behind Hamsterdam are looking to bring the best aspects of brawling mechanics from console games, ones with perfect timing and tight controls, to mobile devices. Set within the fantasy city of Hamsterdam, you'll take control of Pim as he sets out to save his grandfather from the city's mob bosses. In EITR, having awoken with your family murdered, you pick up your father's revolver and set out on a journey for revenge and answers. With an odd and mysterious floating cat for company, and largely inspired by Zelda and other such games as Titan Souls, EITR weaves a personal and compelling narrative story rendered within minimalistic pixel art and a matching soundtrack that comes to the PC in January of next year. Out soon, one of the most complete feeling of any early access game we've ever played, Dead Cells is a roguelike Metroidvania action platformer. You'll explore a sprawling, ever-changing castle as you fight your way past its keepers and defenders, all within a 2D Souls-light combat environment without any checkpoints. Kill, die, learn, repeat. Headed to all of the consoles and the PC in February of next year, Bounty Battle promises a 4-player fighter featuring a cast of 20 characters from other indie games such as Axiom Verge, Owlboy and Guacamelee to name but a few. Bounty Battle isn't just a fighter though, with levels being added to this title from the respective indie games themselves. Naturally, we're intrigued to see how this one's going to play out and how the developers from Dark Screen Games will handle such iconic characters. Cursed to have personal demons manifest in real life, in Lucca, Born of a Dream, you take a journey to achieve purification and escape the corruption that's all-consuming. Here you must master a deep combat system and string together devastating combos of physical and magical attacks. Noita is an upcoming action platformer roguelite where you play within a strange and procedurally generated pixel art world where every pixel in this gorgeous looking game is physically simulated. You'll fight, explore, burn, melt and freeze your way through the world using spells you craft as you create and play. And lastly today, having already featured in our June trailer showcase, Atone sits atop the pile of games already announced prior to this year's E3 event. Atone is a story-driven adventure game that's inspired by Norse mythology and set in a 2D world comprised entirely of hand-drawn vector art. Players inherit the journey of a young warrior named Estra, solving complex puzzles and surviving rhythm game battle sequences as she ventures to unveil the truth behind her father's death. This game is scheduled for release in 2019 on the PC, Mac, Linux, PS4 and the Xbox One. And with a tone, that's almost all we have time for here today in this E3 Indie Game Hidden Gems Showcase. Rest assured, we will be back over the forthcoming days with all the big indie game news and announcements from across all of the keynote presentations and smaller side events. Thanks for watching, and please, if you haven't yet done so, why not subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with us here at Get Indie Gaming. Hope to see you all again here soon for more videos.